Hey, Mom, what does mean? Who taught you that? When I was growing up, my parents didn't let any of their kids curse. And since we were a good Christian family and almost exclusively watched things like VeggieTales, everybody's got a water buffalo. Yours is fast, but mine is slow. Oh, where'd we get them? I don't know, but everybody's got a water buffalo. This wasn't really a problem until I got to high school. Now, this wasn't a problem for the reasons you're probably thinking it was a problem. I didn't get to high school and start spouting and right and left. I got to high school and, I kid you not, my first reaction to hearing actual profanity was, wait, so shut up isn't the worst thing you can say to someone? I didn't actually say that out loud because I am chronically introverted and basically didn't talk for the entirety of my public schooling experience, but I thought it. See, my parents told my siblings and I that shut up was the worst possible thing you could say. It was the height of hurtful comments, and to tell someone shut up was basically the same thing as saying you hated them. I may be misremembering that slightly, but the way my mom reacted whenever any of us said it, that's what it felt like. I asked my mom about it when I told her the topic for this video, and she said, and I quote, "But shut up is a bad word. It's so mean and controlling." And honestly, I feel like that explains a lot about that whole situation. So when I got to high school, it was basically full-blown culture shock. I had no idea what any of these new words meant. I just had the vague awareness that they were probably extremely rude and under no circumstances should I say them in front of my parents. My poor little Christian kid brain couldn't handle it, and I almost immediately decided that whatever these words meant, I didn't want to know. And so for the next 4 years, I was that one quiet kid who somehow still had their innocence relatively intact. And somewhat miraculously, I don't remember ever getting bullied for it. What actually happened was that once people figured out that I genuinely had no idea what these words meant, they would go out of their way to avoid saying them around me. I couldn't escape things like the H word, or the S word, or the F word. But I did manage to graduate high school without ever learning what the C word meant. Of course, now I'm on the internet, and all of that has gone out a window. But in hindsight, I'm impressed with my past self's ability to be so selectively oblivious. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, if you weren't allowed to say shut up, then what could you say? And I'm here to tell you that we didn't say a whole lot, actually. Darn and dang were okay, and so was dang it. But crud was pushing that boundary line, and crap was crossing the line entirely. Crap actually has an on and off history in my family of being considered a curse word, so I'm not entirely sure where to place it on the scale. But about half the time, it was off limits, so I guess that means it counts. Taking the Lord's name in vain was a big no, because again, we were a good Christian family, and that's like commandment number 1. It's actually commandment number 3. I promise I paid attention in Sunday school, Mom. We were also allowed to say rats, and I can remember always being confused by what rats might have done to make people so angry at them to use them as a curse word, but I don't think I've ever gotten an answer for that one. Thinking back on it now, I gotta wonder what made my parents decide to tell us that shut up was the worst thing you could say. I can think of so many things to tell someone that are objectively not curse words and are so much more emotionally damaging than shut up. Then again, I was pretty little at the time, and I think my only sources of outside influence were things like Sesame Street, so maybe I just couldn't think of anything better. In any case, that kind of emphasis on profanity actually kind of turned me off to cursing, possibly for life. I'm not sure if this is a braggable achievement, so I'm totally gonna act like it is anyways, but to date, I have not said anything stronger than, oh crap. I think it's just years and years of habit built up into an actual lifestyle, which, I mean, there could be worse things to build a lifestyle around. But in the gaping void of usual curse words, I actually started coming up with my own alternatives. At some point, I started swearing in food, random noises, and hand gestures. And you might be thinking, well, Shalerrin, how can you swear in food? And I'll tell you. Go flip a pancake, you half-breaded falafel. How dare you doubt my deep-fried terminology? The cheddar cheese nerve of some people. Honestly, I think it's a lot more fun this way. When else am I gonna get to call the world a soggy Parmesan cracker with too many toppings for a cake when I'm having a bad day? Everybody's got a water buffalo. Yours is fast, but mine is slow. Okay, wow, that is... I might need to jump an octave. Everybody's got a water buffalo. Okay, wow, that is really ear-splittingly high. Yeah, that is not gonna work. I but crud was pushing, wow, okay, not that. Go flip a pancake, you half-breaded falafel. How dare you doubt my deep-fried terminology? The cheddar cheese nerve of some people. Ha ha! Nailed it! First try!